charge you my real ass rate.
Yeah, bro was never getting invited back.
Excel, like be good. I always tell my colleagues and my friends, I'm like, let's actually be what we say we are. Catch a vibe every now and then. Me and my friend Rules have a joke where it's like, if you want me to go all night, then I have to charge you my real ass rate because you're ruining my next day. Because I've been up all night.
True. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I can't live the rest of my life like getting 3 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like if you book me till 7 a.m., like I got to charge you a good rate because I'm not getting up till 1.
Mm-hmm.
So as a freelance engineer, sometimes I'm getting texted at 9 a.m., 10 a.m., are you available today? I just missed out on that bread getting rest.
Right.
From your ass all night.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. No, that makes
This is some
sense.
good shit. You should save
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I don't need to save it.
Is it?
Just not rolling.
Okay.
We're rolling.
Oh, we're rolling? Oh, okay, fire.
How do you want to start?
Hey, man. So I want to start off by inviting you and thanking you for pulling up.
Of course.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, so I'm here with the homie Swice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
What up?
And I want to get into your story, like where you from, the different things that you've done, things that you're into now. We here in LA. Like, this is not an easy place.
Not at all.
My aunt says that LA is like the Olympics of industry. People come from all over the world to compete in acting, in Hollywood, in music, and all of
Facts.
that. So you got to be cut from a certain cloth to come here, to work here, and to last.
Man, that last part. Stay out here to last.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, to finally see that day when it does break. Because, you know, there are some people that come out here and they make it happen 6 months.
Man,
a year,
next
2
day.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah. For most of us, it's like, oh, yo, yeah, my thing finally went off. And like, bro, I used to work at the McDonald's on Hollywood Boulevard with him 5 years ago. Like, he been grinded.
He been working.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it just finally all clicked. So, yeah, that's really what I want to get into is like, just like your journey, your perception of like how things have gone, how you see it going, and obviously too, like promoting anything you have going on that you want people to check out. Like, I want people to also be tapped into like what you have going on and follow that, you know?
Okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
We definitely get into that.
Fire. So, where are you from?
I grew up in Nashville, Tennessee. Little,
Okay.
right outside of Nashville. It's called Franklin. Yeah. It's a small town. Like, that's why like you're asking me, you know, where am I from? It's a cool spot. It's musical. It's right outside of Nashville. It's small and it wasn't really diverse, so I really kept to myself. I feel like a lot. I had some good friends there, you know, made stuff happen, but specifically musically, I think it really opened up my idea and perception of like being a musician. I feel like there's a difference in like musicianship and an artist, right? So, you know, I kind of got off topic there.
No,
Ain't gonna lie.
that makes sense. And two, I'm like, did you do the country thing? Because I know Nashville is like, that's like king of country, especially like even sessions. Like there are writers who will take a pause here and try to go do some
Go work in
Nashville
Nashville.
and get
Oh,
some
yeah.
Nashville going. So like, where did you have any influences of that growing up, or were you what were you listening to? What was like your, oh, I'm gonna do music? What were you consuming?
Nashville's definitely very country, but I'm gonna give it its clout. Nashville is Music City, so there's a lot of blues, there's a lot of bluegrass. You've got EDM there, like that's popping. All the producers, they're doing house, techno, EDM, and the bass head, stuff like that, you know. But you're asking specifically, was I into that country-esque stuff? No, but it was around everywhere. Mm-hmm. I definitely respect all the country artists, even met a couple, but it was never on my palette. I always knew what kind of music and whatnot I was into. So.
And what was that? What were you leaning more towards?
I always liked rap R&B, man, like straightforward. But I did grow up playing drums, and I still play now. So going back to the where I grew up, being from Nashville made me a great instrumentalist because I'm around country, I'm around rock, I'm around blues, I'm around pop, I'm around all these different genres. You come out here, it's different genres, but some people are like into a subgenre of it, right? You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, like a lot of people find niches.
They find niches within the genre where I feel like I grew up in a place where it was the genre.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I think that kind of helped me. It helped me spread around. Like I like country. You won't catch me really working on it too often, but I like country.
So when you had like growing up, where did your vision look like it was taking you? Like where did you think you wanted to become? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like what were you aspiring to be or to do eventually? Once you were like, hey, I'm gonna do.
Okay. I think when I was 6, it's really when I locked in. I know like some people might be like, that's BS, but I went to a friend's house. You know, when you're young and your parents take you, or whoever looks out after you, they take you to their friend's house for dinner, more or less, right? So we went to a family friend's house for dinner, giant drum set there, and that is what got me into music. I thought it was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. They're like, go play it. As a kid, I'm like, all right, let's go play it. So from that point, I was kind of basically locked in. And being from, Nashville is Music City. I only grew up 20 minutes outside of it. So it just it took off. You know what I mean? Like if I was in the center for gaming and I got into gaming, it would just click, right? I'm in the center for music. At 6 years old, I get my drum set for Christmas that Christmas. I mean, I'm locked in from that point, man. Honestly, like.
So did you spend a lot of times learning drum, or did that just wake you up to
Oh no,
music?
I played every day. I played every day.
Drums.
Every day.
Wow.
Every single day.
Yeah.
At least for a decade. Up until high
Damn.
school. Yeah. I mean, I'm still hot now. Like I played. Like
Okay.
yeah. I almost
That's
had a gig
tough.
at Peppermint the other week. Our slot got canceled, but I was gonna do shout out my boy K-Roll. We were gonna do a set, and I was gonna play drums for him at Peppermint.
Fire.
Yeah.
Fire.
So, but you're asking, what did it look like? At what point did it? At age 6, really, I was like, this music is so fun.
So you started with drums, and then where did the branches go from there? Like how did it spread? Like
Full-time drummer from age 6 to 7th grade. 7th grade, and I know it all very vividly. 7th grade, yes, when Young Money is coming out. I don't even get Young Money, bro. You already know, right? That was the moment. 15 years ago, you know what I mean? In '09, right? Best I Ever Had. What's the one with Chris Brown and Wayne and a lot of them, right? Look at Me Now. You had I Can Transform You. So like all those records is when I started listening to music. I think all of us like music, but at what point do you start listening to it? All those years of playing drums, I'm just playing drums, right? But once Wayne and Young Money became a thing, also people who looked like me. Where I come from in Nashville is not the most diverse. There's diversity in Nashville, but I'm from outside of it, 20 minutes. So where I came from, it's not too diverse. So I'm sure we can all attest, agree. When you're younger, you look for those outlets that feel like you, look like you feel like you can imitate it. So yeah, Young Money was big for me. And that was the branch. That was the branch, Young Money. Shout out Drake, shout out Wayne, Nicki Minaj, Twist, all of them. Tyga, you know what I mean?
So did you start rapping, or were you just listening? Okay, so you started rapping too. So when did you get electronic?
Okay. 7th grade, that's when the Young Money going off. So I start writing and penning my own stuff. And around 9th grade is when I found out what GarageBand was. And so I think we all have this story too. Most of us have to go to a friend's house to record. So I would beg my neighbor who, I mean, bro, a Mac is still expensive, but this is back in 2013. Mac was expensive then too for, you know, a ninth grader. I'm like, who has a Mac around me? We didn't have no Mac. Just one kid down the street had a Mac. I used to beg him, like, please let me come over and just practice on GarageBand. And I mean, maybe like once a month or once a week I could do it. So that is how I got digital. I wanted to record, and, you know, it's that simple, you know. You Google what are my options.
That's fire.
You know.
Did you end up going to a technical school at some point, or?
No, but
Okay.
right after high school, I went to a community college, and they had music courses, and I took all those.
Okay.
That's not a school technical college. Excuse me, that's not a music technical college. It was a regular college that just had music courses. So I took them. And
So as far as like the engineering too, it's like you're pretty much self-taught. Like, that's dope.
Ninth grade, you know, like people don't count their GarageBand days, but you have to count. Or if you do film, your iMovie or Windows Movie Maker, you have to count that. You know, those are tools. Just because you didn't have Sony Vegas or whatever it's called, you know, or just because you didn't have Premiere Pro, or you didn't have what's the one from Avid? What's the one from Avid?
I'm not sure.
They have one. That's how they cut movies. They cut movies on Avid, not Premiere Pro.
Okay.
But you know, you have to look at those days. So like, if you ask someone how long you been doing this, they might only count their Pro Tools or Logic days. But it's like, nah, like count the days when you were still teaching yourself GarageBand. You wouldn't know how to cut on Logic if you didn't start cutting on GarageBand. You know. So that's the branch, really. It was that simple.
And so you went from there to eventually getting your own laptop.
Took 2 years. Ninth grade, I'm cutting at friends' houses. By 11th grade, I said, I cannot do this anymore. I have to have my own shit. So got a job, 16-year-old, 11th grade. Took a three maybe like a month to get all the money for an interface, a MacBook Pro, the cheapest one, and intro mic, the Rode NT1A. So that was my setup for a long time.
That's dope.
Just worked every night. You know, would go to school. I had work right after school. Some people get to go home and change and feed their dog, and no, school ended at 2:30. I was clocked in by 3:15, and I would get off I worked at a grocery store. I would get off around 9 or 9:30 every night, and then I would rap till like engineer myself up in the bonus room at home. I'd engineer myself maybe till 3 or 4 a.m. Get up for school, sleep 2 hours, 2.5 hours, get up for school. Like those are my reps. Those are my reps. And it was so fun to do it because it's like, think of back in high school, your biggest sports guy. That dude was clocked out by sophomore year because he knew he was going to league, right? Like your best sports guy in he knew he was going, so school didn't even matter. Same with me, where I was like, this school shit don't even matter. It does, like I got to pass, but like I've found my path. This is way too fun, and I've already loved music because I'm a drummer. I've already loved music for over a decade. I'm just shifting from playing the drums to now creating sounds and it was all like, everything was like laid out how it was supposed to be. You know, I kind of just fell into it all and let it happen and progress.
And then when did you first start taking clients and like have that like, oh, like I can
Whatever
make money
age,
helping other people do this? Like,
in high school, there were tons of people that always wanted to work. I'll pay you, just I want to try it out. And I would never let them do it. And I'm still like this. I would never let them do it because I'm not a time waster. And that's not, I know that sounds weird, but it's like, I would only want to work with someone who knew they wanted to do this. So like, don't pay, as a 16-year-old, and I had a job anyway, but like, I didn't want to be paid for some kid at school to just mess around in my room on the mic. Like, I'm staying up all night working on when I say rapping and engineering all night after work in junior year, we're talking like spending 4 hours just fucking with EQs. You got to train your ear, bro. You know that. I'm 16. I haven't even really taken in music like that. So I'm not even the GOAT yet, right? it's gonna take all night just to study EQ. I got a cheaper setup than what the pros got, so I'm trying to match what I'm doing. I'm trying to match that to Future, Young Thug, all those guys that were Drake, right? So with that kind of stuff in my mind, I would never let anyone come over.
And then, so from there, where was it that you were like, I'm gonna go to LA? And what was that transition like in your life and like with your vision of like,
I knew I had to leave Nashville. Shout out Nashville, but I couldn't have lasted there personally. That's just a me thing. I would go back there and work now, but like as a young man coming up and what I knew I wanted to be with, what I knew I wanted to work with, I knew it couldn't have been done in Nashville. When you're in Nashville, it's, first of all, I'm gonna keep it a buck, and you don't even gotta cut this. Nashville hates LA. I don't know if y'all know this, but like that part of the United States hates LA. So like, I'm an artsy person at heart, so I just never really felt so connected to it. But to really answer your question, in 2019, me and my brother from another mother, we drove out here. I've done the drive from Tennessee many times to LA. We drove out here. We spent a whole week trying to make connections. On the second to last day, I lock in with this guy named Todd Hurt. Shout out Todd Hurt. He's Polo G's engineer, fire producer, and worked with countless others. I mean, he engineered Blurred Lines by Robin Thicke. Like, the Rolodex is deep. Snoop Records, Lil TJ, G Herb, like name it, like he's worked with him. He is a family friend, you know, parents, no parent. Second to last day in LA, this is 2019. We spent the whole week trying to make connections. He texts me back. He says, come to the studio. I go to the studio, it's Paramount over in Hollywood. I play some records. I play like 15 records because, you know, when you're like with a big dog, they got to make sure you actually got something. You can't play 2 records. You got to play like 30. So he's like, all right, you got something. This is for all y'all too. You got to go hard. He said, if you produced, I engineered and mixed all the records that I showed him. He said, if you also produced it, I'd have you signed today. But he's like, there's still some work to be done, but you should move here because this city is way more your speed. And the people, the sound you're making, the people you're going to want to network with, like, that's all out here. It's not in Nashville. And he said to me, I know people in Nashville, but I'm not going to link you. He said, you got to come out here. So that was really my stepping stone where I'm like, take it from someone who's doing it, not me. When you're working to get somewhere, take it from someone who's doing it. You know, like, this is, you know, someone who's worked with countless people that I want to work with. Now, if I was back in Nashville and you've got someone saying, I do all the Kenny Chesney records and I love country, I'd have stayed there, right? Like, so that was what gravitated me to come to LA. I had already taken a bunch of trips out here. I knew it was dope, but Todd Hurt, Polo's engineer, that he really convinced me. He didn't have to convince me, but you get the point.
mm-hmm. Do you feel like there are like key moments like that where people get that decision of like, I came out here, you know, my people was talking about linking me with the big dog. I ain't hear from Brody all week, but you still grinded. You still went out and did your own thing. And then right before you're about to leave, you get that message. How did you not have ego, complacency, maybe even a bit of anger of like, I'm just hearing from bro. We were supposed to been do this and still go, I'm going. Like, what was your mindset? Did you have those feelings or were you just?
That's a great question. And I know how to answer it. I knew Todd. I knew who he was before that trip, months before. I'd already been texting him. And we all know this as LAers. Hit me when you get here. You know what I mean? It was really as simple as that. So, like 4 or 5 months go by, I'm not hitting him because he said, "Don't hit me until you get in that." Like, it's a different time now, but in 2019, this is before be your own boss was a thing, as in like just being an entrepreneur. Like that wasn't a thing till COVID. Everyone being independent, wanting to do their own shit, right? That to me, that was a COVID thing. Now, or excuse me, back then in 2019, you still were assigned to a label. Like it was still very much like the classic way. 2020 was the last year of that. So, but just to wrap up the point, like I didn't really have any animosity or like, damn, like it's all we. It wasn't like that because I knew that this dog eat dog, bro. Like this is a dog eat dog city, so I knew that it was hit or miss that I might see him or might not, you know. But when he hit back, it was like, okay, like he hit back, let's go. Like this was a long week. I'm sure glad he hit back, you know. And we wanted to stay out here. After he said move, we were thinking, let's just not go back. And that is really like the ego of it, right? Like, so, but me and my brother from another mother, shout out Andy, his name's Andy. We were like, no, we got to go back to Tennessee and finish it up. So we went back for 3 months, saved. I was working at Red Robin Burgers, you know, like just finishing stuff up, you know, like I was with someone at the time. Like I can't just leave overnight. Hey, it would be different if I was getting signed overnight. That's different. But this was just like I see your style, I see your swag, your music. Come to LA and we'll talk more. So, yeah, I didn't have any bad feelings about it.
And how do you feel like, business-wise, since you came here, what were some of the major things that you did to like get your feet under you, start making some money out here, get your name out here, going and just build a network?
You gotta go out, man. Like, we're not talking about going to the club. That works too, but like, I definitely had a job. You've gotta figure out a way to pay bills. So 2 months after moving here, I was working at Egg Slut, if we know what that is. I was working at Egg Slut, which is a good job because they close very early in the day. And that's why I got a job there, because it's going on what you're saying. I'm moving to LA to cultivate a dream. So I was trying to do my best. Like, all right, if I got to work every day, let me please get a job where I can feel like I'm making the hours. Because Egg Slut now closes at 2, but when I worked there, it closed at 4. That's still early, dog. You're off by 4:30, 4:45. You have the rest of your day and night, right? Compared to someone who gets off at 10, we already at the party you know what I'm saying? So that's what I did. I worked at Egg Slut. I worked at Wendy's. I did some Postmates, and that's how I stayed afloat financially. But networking wise, just go out and meet people. You know, it's literally no harder or easier than that. Just go out. I can't even give an example because we all know what it's like. You go to the bar, or you go to that one show, or you go to the cleaners. Like, I make the most clients in elevators. I'm in a space this close to you. What I'm gonna do, be awkward? You make the most clients in the elevator. What's up? What you doing? In an elevator, it's either a rapper or their friend raps. Every time. Every time. They see you, it happened today actually. They see you when I was coming here, they see you swagged out. What you doing? Where you going? Oh, I'm going to the studio. Oh, you produce, you? Okay, let me grab your IG. Let's lock in. My sister, my brother, my girlfriend, my aunt, whoever, you know. So just be nice, smile, be open. Yeah.
And what would you say are some of the biggest things that get you invited in the rooms and asked back in the rooms, and maybe a couple things you've seen where you're like, yeah, bro was never getting invited back? Like,
Anticipate the artist. So if you produce, you better understand every key, and even if you don't, like, shoot, meta AI it real quick. You know what I mean? Like, be fast, understand, be prepared. Specifically being an engineer, you're saying what gets me back invited, what gets me invited. What gets you invited is them seeing them. Let's not be so vague. What gets you invited is somebody in a camp seeing or noticing your work. That's number one. Or number two, a friend of a friend, right? So I'm referred a lot. We're in LA. My favorite joke in LA is you're always one room away from whatever it is you want. Whatever it is you want, you're always one room away. I don't mean that existentially. I mean like, oh, you like the baby? Because probably his sister will be over there tomorrow. Like, type shit, right? In the last couple of weeks, I mean, I've been in sessions with Jeremiah, the dude from Bel Air. His name's Jabari. Who else? Kalen, for real. I can't even, it's like countless names. I can't even remember them all. Do we like the song by Kendrick Lamar, TV Off? Yeah, we love that song. That producer, shout out Larry J. You know, like, so that's what I'm saying. You're saying, how do I get invited? How do you get clients? Everyone I just named was a big name, but let's say they weren't big names. Whoever you work with is gonna call you back because their brother needs an engineer. There's always, especially in LA, there's always someone just starting out that needs someone good. That's kind of how there's an excess of people out here to work with. And, you know, when you're a heavy hitter, you don't got to be famous. You don't got to be all that. But when they see your work ethic in the room, they see how hard you go. That's how you get referred. Like, but we know this, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's good to reiterate it, but that's why you're asking me. It really is that simple. You know, I do go above and beyond, but at the same time, that's what's expected. So you should just do that and you'll get the calls back, you know.
And I know you touched on it earlier when you were talking about kind of developing your own sound initially and going through the EQs and stuff.
Hours.
How would you suggest that someone who maybe wants to learn, like, oh, I want to be an engineer, I want to be confident,
Okay.
I want to be good enough to go to a Paramount, and if they give me the room, I can handle it. What would you suggest they do?
Woo. I love that one. You have to look at, you don't want to look one way. So use it's like a team. Think of your mind and your body and it's team effort. Your body is a team. So you have to use YouTube University. Call your friends, call your mentors, your colleagues. Can you slide on them? Can you, fly on the wall? Like, can you sit in? You have to really use your resources. YouTube is a big one. So to give you an adequate answer, start on YouTube. Whatever your questions are, YouTube or Meta AI that first so you can get an idea. Read first. So then when you're watching a video or in the room, you go, oh, I read about that. That's the that button. And you do hit that to get, right? So research first. Then you've got to find your colleagues and use Instagram. You know, our buddy Mayan is always talking about how someone just found him on Discord and sending him a bunch of beats now, right? Like, the internet's so big, so use the internet, use your resources, use the people around you, become friends with them, like make real relationships with people, and they'll be able to show you stuff or vice versa. You know, y'all can go in on things, split a session. That's a lot of times that's what I did, you know, front the session with your own money, save up if you have to, but go in that bigger room, book it for 2-3 hours, book a assistant engineer or engineer to help you. You're saying in the aspect of those big rooms with consoles and boards, YouTube ain't gonna show you everything. You need to get in there and touch it. Before you do that, like, you should probably book it. You know what I mean? When you go buy a car, don't you test drive it first? Now that's free, but a car isn't your career. So
Yeah, you got to invest.
you have to invest.
Yeah.
It might be set. All right. I didn't get to touch this, and I'll make it quick, but you asked me what were the stepping stones back in the day. Nashville's Music City. So there were tons of studios around. So by 9th grade, I asked someone I knew someone in 9th grade that was going to the studio. I knew many people. But I go, how much does it cost? He said it's $700 for a 12-hour. Okay, I'm in 9th grade, 14 years old. Nobody in my family's musical, and we don't have money like that. There's no way I'm about to get $700 for 12 hours. there's no, maybe today, but there's no 14-year-old in 2011 that's gonna do that. In 2026, okay, yeah, maybe, right? But like, when we came up, no. So that's when I was like, all right, I guess I got to stick to my homeboys' garage band and get my own equipment, and that was a big stepping stone. Was that kid telling me that the studio was $700 for a 12, and he was like, my mom pays for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't even pay for it. His mom was a country singer, something like that. So, but that was a big stepping stone.
What would you say is your favorite room or studio in LA?
Shout out Fever, Clear Lake / Fever. Fever, it's in North Hollywood. I love that studio. It's definitely like an A-list room. Countless. I mean, when it's an A-list room in LA, countless people have been there. You don't have to name them, but I like it. It's private. It's full SSL board, Augsburgers in the wall, parking obviously. Paramount's fun, shout out Paramount, shout out the other ones, but I really had a good time at Fever. I really did.
Fever got the cookies?
Fever has got all types of snacks.
Okay. I love the cookies, bro. I love the cookies.
All types of snacks. They got cookies.
Okay.
They got Ruffles, chips, Diet Coke, regular, like it's all laid out. It's really just one room there. So that's why I like it. Because it's like a Paramount, but just one room. So they're just catering to you. It's not 7 different A-list clients they're trying to juggle. They're just juggling you. You go out there, what do you need? You know what I mean? Like, and I like that because, I'm not high maintenance, but it is nice when you're paying that much. I should be catered to. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
And I've seen on your story too that you take an interest in food, different kinds of food spots. Talk to us about your favorite LA spots so far, and have they changed? Has it changed since you've been here?
LA sometimes changes their menus, but the ones I like, no. Let's do. I'm gonna give you like 2 affordable ones and then 2 expensive ones. All right, let's go. We'll start with the affordable. Chinatown is called Amboy. Shout out Amboy. That is the best burger I've ever had in my life.
I've heard of it.
Amboy.
I've heard
it's that good, bro.
Okay.
Oh my God. Woo. So yeah, that's good. I'd say after that, I got it. In Koreatown, it's called Kyo-chan. You know what that is? Ain't that something?
Yo, them wings, them Korean wings.
The Yangnam sauce?
Yeah.
Dog, stop playing.
And they just reopened. They just like redid the inside and they just reopened.
They did?
It's literally on this block.
Oh, it is, isn't it?
It's like 2-3 blocks up.
Kyo-chan, I messed them up, bro. I messed them up.
They're crazy.
I'll give you one more. Shout out Honey Kettle Fried Chicken. Black owned. Shout out Honey Kettle. So that'll be my bonus one. And then as far as more upscale, I'm going, let's keep it easy. Mastro's. Cannot miss. Cannot. The pork chop, can't miss.
And is that across the street from Crypto? The arena?
Yeah, but there's 2. So there is one in downtown, and then there's one off Rodeo.
Okay.
Beverly Hills, yeah.
And which one do you usually do? Or does it matter?
Beverly Hills, bro.
Okay.
I actually haven't been to the downtown one. That one's newer, within the last year or 2. So even though I live in downtown, but I haven't been to that one yet. No cap. And then my other one, I like Catch, but I feel like that's too mainstream. I'm trying to find something. Oh, you know what? I got it. It's called South Beverly Grill. That is a low-key but good spot. It's in Beverly Hills, but that's a low-key but good spot. Have you been to Houston's in Pasadena?
No, I never heard of it.
Okay. It's like a Houston's, if y'all know what Houston's is, but just American food, like upscale bar food. Okay. You know what I'm saying? We gotta love some American food, right? So upscale. Yeah.
And do you go to Beverly Hills just to catch a vibe sometimes, or are you going getting food and then you're out?
Catch a vibe every now and then. Sometimes you want to go out and feel nice. You know what I'm saying? So I'll definitely do that kind of stuff with I have an aunt that lives out here. Shout out Kristen Robinson. Been in the TV film industry for over 20 years. Worked on all the big stuff that you know, Grey's Anatomy, Bridgerton. The list goes on. How to Get Away with Murder. I couldn't stop there. I mean, she worked with everyone. She's a PR, a marketing executive. She does PR and marketing, and she's always like the highest it can go at whatever job she goes. So me and her will go out, and my brother from another mother, Andy, that's my boy. We moved out here together from Tennessee. So a lot of times us three will go out and we'll do something like that. We'll go to Catch or Mastro's or Houston's over in we like to pick somewhere nice, you know what I'm saying? Like just enjoy each other's company. And I mean, cause my aunt has been out here for so long. And then when we moved out here, she felt like, oh, like, you know, the next generation, like she can remember when she was my age coming out here trying to get shit going. So, you know, that our bond is very tight.
Nice. Yeah. She's also from Nashville, or?
No, that is a deep one. That's a deep one. None of my family's from Nashville. My aunt, she's from Battle Creek, Michigan. Shout out Battle Creek. That's where she was born and grew up. But my family, like my actual family, we're from outside of Chicago. It's called East Chicago, Indiana. Now, Chicago is in Illinois, but Chicago is also right by the water and the border of Indiana. So you just go 45 minutes south, you're in somewhere called East Chicago, Indiana. You're not in Illinois anymore. You're in, you know, that'd be like, I'm in East Los Angeles, Nevada.
Right.
Kind of like that.
Okay.
Only not 4 hours away, 30 minutes away.
Right.
So that's where my family's actually from, like my mom and stuff like that. East Chicago, Indiana, which is 20 minutes from Gary, where Michael Jackson's from.
Yep.
Yeah.
And how do you feel like it's been for you socially? Obviously, we touched on networking and meeting people and references and all of that, but how do you feel about dating in LA?
Dating in LA, it's tough. It's funny, if you go outside of LA, any other neighboring city, it's a lot better. I'll tell you that. Any of them. You go any direction. Any direction, dog. It doesn't matter.
Any.
You can even go OC, you still find a cool girl. You know what I mean? Like, it's tough. It's cool. You know, we find a cool girl or vice versa. A girl finds a cool guy. But we're also focused on our aspirations and ambitions that it's hard to date. And at the same time, the amount of people that are around are options. You know what I mean? We don't like to talk about that, but it's like, especially when you're in the studio every night, like rappers are inviting girls half the time, right? Like I'm always, you know, so it's tough, and that makes it hard. Especially like if you're with someone and she's thinking about that, like you've seen the memes where they're like what they think the studio is like. It's like typically everyone's just on their phone bored. All the rapper's just trying to do his stuff. You know?
Yeah.
God forbid the rapper doesn't have a booth. Then you gotta be quiet because he's out here with us. Ain't no one talking. Ain't no party. You know what I mean?
Do you enjoy those sessions? And I'm talking about the more party ones. And also, what is your favorite type of studio experience, or one that you feel like is going to be the most productive?
Do I like the big sessions? I just told my friend this up the other day. You have to be in the mood for the big session. Sometimes you can, 2 hours in, okay, I feel better now. We're having a good time. The rapper's killing it. The entourage is cool. I'm comfortable. Cool. But most of the time, when it's a big session like that, it's always last minute. Most of the time. Unless it's like a Lil Yachty or someone like that who booked early in the day, but he's still going to come with his entourage. Like, we're not talking about that. We're talking about the last minute ones. They can be fun if everyone's respectful. No one's trying to backseat engineer. You know, give your opinion when it's needed, but like, a lot of people, when they see how fast and good you are at engineering, they want to ask you every question. And that's tough for me, is when people are trying to talk to me while I'm listening to the rapper in the booth. You know, someone's like, how do you do that? That's so cool. Sounds so, what do you think? I'm like, bro, I can't hear bro in the booth. Like, you gotta. So I don't always love the 10, 20 people sessions, but it definitely can be fun. It can be. It can be. If the artist is really trying to work and the 10 friends are being wild, now that's not very fun. Like I said, I can't really hear the artist turn the speakers up. It's deeper than that. That might bleed into the mic, right? Like I can't, so, you know, I can't say I love the big sessions, but you can get worked up into them and have a good time. And then your second question was, what's the best, more or less the best way for a session? Typically just the artist or the artist and 1 or 2 friends max. I was going to say 4 or 5, but 4 or 5 is fine, but you're asking the best. It's either just the artist or the artist and 1 friend. Because they'll be the most locked in. That 1 friend won't really be doing too much. He'll be on his phone saying it sounds good when it sounds good. Yeah, you could redo that. You know, like just keeping it easy. The more heads, you got one guy going, I liked it. You got one guy going, I didn't like it. You know what I mean? So it makes the process a little bit longer. The artist gets in their mind a little bit, their head, like they're trying to impress their friends sometimes, right? Trust me, I've seen that. This artist might be killing it. Second, the friend comes in. My boy outside, can you grab him? I grab him. Second, the boy come in or the girl, artists start tanking. It happens, bro. They get in their minds. So, you know, that's the ideal. Just them or 1 friend.
And what is there anything coming up for you? Not to say that you have to like spoil it and speak on it, but what would you say is next for you? It could be an energy, it could be, you know, something you're working on, it could be, you know, what's your carrot out in front of you right now?
That's a good question. I feel like I would enjoy, I've always been a big fan of like what Dave, Lil Dicky, I've always been a big fan of what he does. Childish Gambino, Travis Barker, Questlove, like those guys really influenced me in how they maneuver life. I'm trying to think of like one more person. Even Jabari from Bel Air. You know, I've never wanted to just be one thing. Now, that doesn't mean I want to be the greatest actor, the greatest I don't want to be the greatest, you know, everything of all time of everything. Like, that's not the goal. But I've never really wanted to be just one, which I don't think anyone does. So, you're asking me what's next. To just do more of the things I love. Specifically, drums, music. I love engineering, so I would love to be able to bridge that more and like songwrite and engineer I'd love to work on pop, you know what I mean? Like, I'd love to kind of switch into that lane a little bit and work with like a Dua Lipa or something like that. I think that would be really cool, you know what I mean? So that would be my carrot, you know, playing drums at Peppermint on Friday and then a session with Dua Lipa on Monday. As well as releasing my own music. But because I'm not really just wanting to be an artist per se, that really isn't something I'm pushing, right? I'm not pushing just to be an artist or pushing just to be an engineer. You know, I had someone the other day ask me, DM, they're like, bro, I'm curious, like, what is it that you do? And I actually appreciated that question because for one, it probably is confusing, but it's like, I don't really have a title. What do I mainly do? Engineer, right? Audio engineer. But my carrot is like, I want to be able to just be an entertainer at the end of the day. You know, think of all your old school guys, and I don't want to call them old school, but think of like Jamie Foxx, like guys like that. Had his own TV show, go does a movie, Go do a comedy special on Netflix, right? And then make it out like that's what I'm working for, you know, and to hopefully be blessed enough to like live like someone like a Jamie Foxx off doing all those different things. And it's not because like I genuinely want to be that. It's not like I'm wanting to overstretch myself and be the best at. Like that's not what I want. You know, I'm looking at what I really love to do. I love drums. I would never give up drums. I would hopefully love to go, you know, so that's my carrot.
Yeah, yeah. I definitely think a lot of people can relate to that, you know. I feel like throwing yourself in this race of being in LA and just being in any competitive field, those people who are like, oh, I only want to do this one thing, or my only focus is doing this one thing, they tend to shoot out quicker than the
I
people
agree.
who are more spread, more balanced. But and not to throw shade against those people, but one positive to balance is longevity.
Longevity, man.
You're more versatile, you have more skills, you're more knowledgeable. You know, it's nice to specialize in something, but it's also nice to have a strong base of overall knowledge and experience and interest, honestly.
I 1,000% agree, bro. You know, and I agree with what you said, where it's like people that just, okay, I'm just gonna do this. That's cool, but ask yourself. I've already asked myself, is being a full-time artist what I want? The answer is no. But I know that in my heart. It's not something I had to accept that I gave. You know, I didn't give anything up. I just realized, man, like, you could just go get a loan from a bank who's not going to tell you what to do. Or I guess you can go to a label, but they're just going to tell you what to do every day, tell you what you can say, what you can't say, what you can wear, what you can't wear. They're definitely going to be holding your music. They're going to hear the album and go, oh, that's not what we bought. We thought you were going to make 50 more of these songs. And you over here trying to do, like, that's not what we bought, right? So, and I've been through that, right? Like, I've been in those rooms. I've talked to major labels and, you know, I was telling a mutual friend of ours recently, I was like, usually a label buys one version of you. If you get lucky, they get a couple different ones. But a label is just buying one version of you. Now, I get it's the independent day and age, but it's still a lot of people signing, right? And like I said, you just got to do your research. Hopefully you get your experience. You get in the room, talk to someone, see what it's really like. Everyone wants to be an actor until they find out, oh, I got to be at hair and makeup at 5 a.m. to do that? Oh. I don't know. I got to put that shit on every day? That's over my skin? You got to paint me every day? And it take time to get off hell, you know what I mean? Like, I always applaud actors because they work so much harder than us. Maybe not you, but like, I don't want to speak for you, but like, as an engineer, my job's easy. I come in, artist is always late, so that's 30 minutes to an hour. I just chilled, got paid, right? Like, music is infinitely easier. People come in freestyle. Actor had to memorize that shit for 5 months, 3 months, however, whenever he got the script, he or she got, you know what I mean? Like, our job is just too easy, and that kind of stuff propels me to work hard and go further because, like I said, I want to be like a childish Gambino. I didn't watch his Mr. and Mrs. Smith show, but I know of it. I know Did you watch Atlanta?
No, but I've
You know
gotten a bunch of recommendations.
So
to check it
good.
Out. Yeah.
Right? Like, but he also had that song of the year a couple of years ago, This Is America.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So that's kind of what I look forward to, you know, the longevity. And I think you live a more fun life. I wouldn't have fun if I was just going on tour for the rest of my life. If my life relied on social media, going on tour, and like just going to the recording studio, like that'd be fun, sure. You could say I was living it, but me personally, Swice, I'd be like, I could be doing more. I want to do more. I don't want to just do this, you know. Yeah.
Well, look, man, I appreciate you coming through. I appreciate you putting in the work that you've been putting in.
Appreciate
and
you,
getting
man.
to where you are, bro. Because
you.
like this shit is not easy, bro.
No, it's not,
This
man.
shit is not easy. You're not home. You know
Thought
what I'm
about that
saying?
today. I was like, I'm never at home.
Yeah.
I wake up early and I leave all day, and then I come back, and then I watch The Simpsons, and that's the making a joke, but that's the happiest time of my day. Is when I get to come home and watch The Simpsons and laugh at that. Shout
Yeah.
out The Simpsons.
Yeah. 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 Well, thank you, bro. Thank you, bro.
Of course,
And,
bro. Appreciate you having me. This was fun, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. Fire. Fire.
It's a wrap.
Lit.
That was awesome, bro.
What you think, JQ?